Hello and welcome to WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. We're going to talk today about a topic you may not know that much about, something you may have been a little confused on, and we'll find out about that in this edition of WJTS in.form. Joining me in the studio is Jenny Fuhs. Jenny is the Assistant Director of the Dubois County Community Corrections Center.
Yes.
Which is right up by the Sheriff's Office. Now, I think first of all, what we want to start out, Jenny, is you are not the jail.
We are not the jail.
Okay.
No.
I guess up in that complex, we have the Sheriff's Office, we have the jail. They're all in one building.
Yes.
What people may not realize is you're a separate building, albeit very close.
Yes, absolutely. Our facility is a separate entity in and of itself. So we have the jail, and they function on their own, and then we have community corrections, and we function on our own as our own facility. So.
What is the mission of the Dubois County Community Corrections Center?
Well, I'm not going to give you the exact mission, but I want to paraphrase it for you guys today because we're pretty lengthy in our mission. But our overall mission for the center is that we provide services to the participants who are sentenced to us in order to rehabilitate them and get them back out in the community. We are an alternative to the jail. So we are a different means of sentencing. So the courts can sentence people to us instead of sentencing participants over to the jail. But our primary function is to rehabilitate our participants to get them back out in the community to lead successful lives.
Are you teaching them new skills?
Absolutely.
So do you work with local industries then to kind of figure that, or how does that work?
Well, we have some programs within our facility. We have a treatment facilitator, and she coordinates all of the programming into our facility for those participants. We work with local groups in our community, such as churches, organizations. Purdue Extension is one of those. I'm sure you're familiar with Jan Dugan over there. And we've got some other Center for Women's Ministries, et cetera, that come in and they provide some of these services for us. So we provide a lot of treatment for our participants.
And I guess some of the idea is if somebody goes straight to jail and is stuck in jail for 5 years and they're locked up, they really aren't changing their life, probably going to continue with the pattern. But by going to the Community Corrections Center, you're teaching them better life skills.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that the idea in the past, as far as incarceration always went, was for us to just lock them up in a cell and throw away the key. That's not so much the idea today. There's been a big change in the ideology over the years, and they have kind of reformed to what is called evidence-based practices. And evidence-based practices is simply practices that have been proven effective. And one of the practices that have been proven effective is to rehabilitate those participants. Give them the skills that they need to go out and succeed so that when they're back out in the community, they're responsible citizens and they don't recidivate, or in other words, recommit a crime and end up back in the criminal justice system again.
How does someone get to the community corrections facility? Is it that I go to jail and I serve 3 years in jail and then I go there, and what type of, and I know we talked about this, offenders is the word that I would have used, but I'm an old school and that has been changed over the years. So I guess, first of all, do they come directly there or do they go to jail and then to you?
Okay. We receive participants who have been ordered by the court to the Community Corrections Center. So we may receive participants who've already been in jail and incarcerated there, who the judge has released from their sentence at the security center and sent over to us, or we may receive them coming down off of a prison sentence where they've been in prison for an extended amount of time, and then they are sent down to our facility as a means of transitioning back into the community, or we also receive them as direct sentences from the court itself.
Okay, now you call them participants.
Yes.
Is this an overnight facility? Do some of the participants stay overnight, or is some of this is work release? Or you also mentioned day check-ins or something?
Yes.
Can you? What kind of I guess programs are there?
Absolutely. Community Corrections, underneath our umbrella, we house the work release facility. We have a day reporting program, we have a home detention program, and we have community service. To explain a little bit, our work release facility, it houses participants. It is residential, so they stay overnight. Okay. They're allowed to release to go to and from their places of employment or appointments that they may have in the community. And then we have a step down from that would be our home detention, which is what's often referred to as house arrest, where you have that electronic bracelet, attached to your ankle, and then they're able to live in the community, in their homes, in their own residence. They come in and they check in on a regular basis with our case management staff and our correctional staff. We have day reporting, which is a step down from that. There is no equipment on day reporting, so that they come in and they do regular check-ins with our staff there at the facility. And then community service is fulfilling a certain number of court-ordered hours that the judge has ordered in the community, giving back to nonprofit agencies.
So, and that you're the one they report to for community service.
Absolutely.
Because oftentimes you hear about community service, you wonder, well, who do they report to? How does somebody even know they showed up at the park?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Who determines at what level they're at? Is that from the court? The court tells you this is where this person goes?
Yes, the court will sentence that participant to us, and within their court order, it will state where they are to be placed on which program.
Okay. And you're funded through county government, state government?
We are funded through the Department of Corrections. We receive a grant, and then we also receive funding from our participants. They pay their own fees there, which is different from the jail as well, whereas they are not funded in the same way. So,
how many participants at one time were involved? Do you know? Is that like a huge, or does it change? Is it more in the summer and less in the winter?
Yeah, we do fluctuate per season, and dependent upon what's going on with the economy as well. We house, on average, and I'm just going to give you averages today because we do fluctuate so much. On average, we've had about 70 participants in our work release program. We average around 50 in our home detention program, and then just a couple, like maybe 2 or so, we've been averaging on our day reporting program. Our community service continually fluctuates, as well as the adults and juveniles both.
Okay, now this facility obviously does good work, because that's the idea, is to try and get people to rehabilitate their life. And I know that doesn't always happen. But what are some stories that you can remember, or that you feel good about? You know that there was somebody who came in, had this issue, and you just saw them 20 years later, and well, not 20 years later, but 5 years later, and knew that they were still living a good life.
We do on occasion have those participants who will keep in contact with us, even post-release. And so those are always exciting because they want to talk to us. It's not a situation where, oh, I'm back here and I really don't want to talk to you anymore because I just don't have things the way that I want them to be. But we do have those success stories, and we get to see that progress as a participant is moving through our program as well. We at times will have participants who will modify their sentence from work release down to home detention. We can plug them into those programs just like we talked about before that we offer. And then as we see them plug into those programs and learn these skills to become responsible citizens, to better themselves, to assist them in setting goals for their lives, which some people aren't even familiar with setting goals. Just to be able to do those little things and see those baby steps are amazing. So.
And that's why the programs, I guess, when the women's ministry comes in and does work, or somebody like that, it helps to teach life skills. Absolutely.
We have a plethora of programs. This is all part of our evidence-based programming. It's an application that is kind of facility-wide, more than just programs in and of itself, but it's a facility-wide practice that we have. When we gain a participant on one of our caseloads, we assess them to see what areas in which they have a greater need. If somebody has a need for behavior, peer associations, those types of assessments, then if we see there's a need, then we can help to plug them into programming that would assist them with that to help maybe modify their behavior or their cognitive. So
there's also a treatment facility or center inside. So is that where someone who's abusing drugs is taught not to? Is that?
We do offer some programming in regards to that. We are not an inpatient substance abuse treatment program, and we're not an outpatient substance abuse treatment program. Therefore, we help to refer our participants to programs, whether we have them in-house or whether they are out in the community. We help to refer them over to those appropriately.
Is there anything else that you would like to add, Jenny?
Well, we have so many programs, and I can't even begin today to go into the depth of our programs and how much good they offer our participants. I would love to be able to get back at some point in time to be able to talk about those in more depth and to talk a little bit more about our evidence-based practices and how we assist our clients.
Well, I think we'll do that. Sounds like a time that we'll come back and talk more about it, because I think it's nice at first here to understand for folks that it's a different facility than the jail and the sheriff's department.
Yes.
And you're actually a different building. I thought the buildings were connected, but you said that there is a little space in between the two. Jenny, thank you very much for coming in. Our guest has been Jenny Fuhs. She's the Assistant Director at the Dubois County Community Corrections Center. Thank you for watching WJTS in.form. We are local people watching local people.